So, firstly, for all of you who make it here, I'd like you to give yourselves a round of applause. Thank you. And welcome to Bangalore. Welcome back to Bangalore.
Thank you. Thank you, Bengaluru. Thank you, DLC Bengaluru, for always supporting us.
Your Bangalore chapter has been a very interesting, eclectic bunch,
It is.
right?
It is.
It's the best bunch. Say yes.
It is a great bunch.
It is a great
I can
bunch.
say that.
Since you started DLC, how has it changed your life? How is your life different? We'll get to everybody else, but how has it changed your life?
See, DLC is a platform which is meant to support entrepreneurs.
Right.
And that's why when we went to Forbes New York and said this is the world's first business platform, eyebrows were raised. And ultimately, when I did the session with the editor there, they to my much surprise, they published a quarter-page article in Forbes New York. Because building a community is what I have kind of dreamt of all my life. As a designer, all I've done is impacted lives via the medium of my design, be it corporates I was designing or hospitality I was designing. Also, when it comes to me as a person, the purpose of my life is very clear. I want to touch as many human lives as I can positively.
Right.
And this is not today because DLC has come into my life. I've been doing it for the last almost 15, 17 years or more.
Right.
I started an NGO with Parsi Resource Group, meant to work with the community, the priests of the community, then their wives and youth of the community and so on and so forth. I became a trustee at Bombay Parsi Panchayat, served on the board for 7 long years. So my endeavor always is to touch human lives.
You know, I'm hearing this and then also thinking about how many people in this room might be feeling the same way. They might want to have a journey where they affect others out there, right? And one word that comes to my mind is the power, or not is community, right? Community is the one word, and the power of communities across. People have, let's just say Facebook groups, people have WhatsApp groups, people have different types of groups, but end goal for DLC communities is very different. Talk to me about how this becomes so much different than just having just a WhatsApp group of some of the best people in a certain industry.
So it all started with a dream and a vision of what is it that I would seek as a community, as an entrepreneur, and especially as a first generation entrepreneur in my case.
Right.
What do you seek as a community? So you have a wish list and say, okay, I should be able to pick up the phone and talk to somebody in Germany if I need something, or somebody in London, or somebody in Dubai. How can I kind of just brainstorm my ideas, see if it works on a global level? For me, design is very important and design is truly global. So it started with that. And then we said, okay, but I also need, within the city, I also need a lifestyle. And within the city, I don't have time. I also need events which keep me ahead of the curve. I also need to meet some of the most amazing people in the city, even though I know people within my circle. But can my circle introduce me to some more amazing people?
Right.
A human being is never satisfied. You're always greedy to meet more and more and more and more. And if they're amazing intellectual people who stimulate your senses, you want to meet them, right? Everybody desires to do so. So the whole idea was we started putting together a wish list of what all should exist in a community. My community should also give me brand experiences. So if I'm in Dubai and I want to which restaurant to go to, I may not know anybody in Dubai, but I should know which the top 10 restaurants are. And I don't say top 10 because Google says so. I say top 10 because my community says so. That got me to think, what is that one thing within my community that makes it special?
Right.
We said it should be brand trust. There should be no advertising on the platform. There should be no taking money in any other manner to promote something, because then I become an influencer or the platform becomes an influencer.
Sure.
Right. This should be an influencer platform, but it should be because domain experts say so. Because Shama says in leadership so, along with 150 to 170 people across the world, now that's a very powerful group of people whom we call a community within leadership segment. But then there are 26 domains. And there are 26 such groups within this community.
So from the perspective of what you just said, there are individuals who come forward who are part of DLC and whatnot. But there are a lot of opportunities for people. I'm sure you've, probably in your earlier days, you would have seen these networking events, right? Where everybody goes, there are like this many people in a room. The objective is I have to give my card to everybody. And the worst part is, at the end of the night, some you'll keep, some you'll throw. It doesn't matter, and then it's a very pointless exercise in my opinion.
See, I mean, all of us have gone through multiple networking cycles through our life.
Right.
And what is important is a connect. I use the word connect more than networking.
Yeah, you were
I
talking
use
about this in the
very
community.
critical.
Yeah.
So connections are very critical. And the connections happen to be intellectual connections. They're more critical. They last way beyond the evening. Cards you'll throw off, relationships you don't. And intellectual people you met who fascinated you, you don't never throw them off. I was in Ahmedabad at a workshop, and this guy was speaking for us, and he says, your team is going to come to my studio to shoot, and I've got to paint art gallery, but it'll take a little time. So I'm asking him, the dude, 1 hour is enough here. He says, no, but I've got 5,000 paintings. Then I said, man, it's a good wake-up call. I should have known this guy. And then he's one of the largest collectors of Hussein and so on and so forth.
Right.
So this is one example. Like this, there have been amazing examples. Such intellectual connections you'll never forget all your life.
To name one for me that's really struck, other than the one you just mentioned, that has really struck out to you in the tenure of DLC.
So in New York, I've got Gershman Schroff's, David Schroff's. David is one of the most known 10 Jews in the world. Right? Jews are a very powerful community across globally. One of the 10 most known people.
I have to say at this point, before you continue, the Parsis are better.
So you get to meet such amazing people, and yet they're so down to earth. I'm sure if I had to call up a Supreme Court lawyer, he will never be available to me for DLC. David Schroff is always available for DLC. So the bigger the people are, the more humble they are. They understand the importance of a community. So me and David started talking about how he benefited by serving at the synagogue and how he's involved with his community.
Right.
And I'm talking about how I'm involved with the Parsi community. So there's a common ground.
For those of you who didn't get why I said Parsi just now, I just answered the question.
It's a common ground, and those relationships are forever.
Yeah.
Across India, not just one city or multiple cities. Every event I meet a couple of amazing people. And for me, that's the biggest takeaway.
Okay.
Those relationships are fantastic. I just met somebody who's into alternate energies and doing great guns across in Bengaluru. So relationships, and I told him that I've already got a relationship with 2 of the biggest players in the country. So I mean, that is the exciting part. It's not frivolous networking.
We were talking about, before we started this, you and I were talking outside, and we were referring to when people from this community come and speak to each other, the idea, of course, is you're sharing a lived experience, right? Which becomes you as an entrepreneur, as a first generation entrepreneur. There are things that you have lived, there are things that you have gone through, and this community supports that. It's not an advice community. It is a support. Talk to me about what the big difference is between what I just mentioned.
One of the biggest takeaways of DLC is the world of forums. And they are not the way we know forums. You know forums in a certain way, and everybody else knows forum. CIO forum, CTO forum, CXO forum, CEO forum. Those forums are very different, where 200, 300, 100 people come together.
Right.
These forums comprise strictly of less than 10 people, or up to 10. 6 is minimum quorum. 6 to 10 people is a forum.
Okay.
And these forum members don't change for life. They are a peer group. They become your support system for life. In your ups, you celebrate with them. In your downs, you count on their support. And the best takeaway from a forum is not advice, but shared experiences. So far, what is Jimmymistry as a brand? Whatever my experiences of the last 25 years and so on and so forth, that's my juice. This juice gets multiplied by 10, because then there is somebody else with 20 years, somebody with 30 years, somebody with 19 years.
Yeah.
And they all are voting for me, and I'm voting for them. We are invested in each other, not financially, but emotionally, to make sure that we support the best and bring the best out of this human.
So for someone who's come here how many of you are here for the very first time at DLC? Okay. Oh, that's nice to see. And how many of you have been here in the past? My math is very bad, thank you. But anyways, okay. Great. Okay, so for people who are here for the first time, and that's a lot of them there, what would you like them to take away from today?
Get in a sense of understanding that there is a community out there of which they can be a part of for all the right reasons. And for the first time, this community happens to be a global community, because within the city, within the village, within the metropolis, or within a mega city, we all have been born and brought up in that city, and we have our set of connections. But when this becomes global, the juice is 100x. That's the kind of takeaway. ability to establish first degree connections across the world and even in your city.
Right.
So the attraction is both ways. Getting to be a part of this community that becomes your support system is amazing. Gives me a new lifestyle, it's amazing. I will connect with people intellectually, it's amazing. And so it's an overall growth, it's an intellectual growth, it's a business growth, it's a personal growth, and it's for the whole family. So it's global and it's for the family. It's not just for me. It's not a trade organization, it's not a tie, it's not a ficky. It's meant for my family.
Okay.
So me, my spouse has its own things. My adult kids have their own forums. So it's for the whole family and it's global. And it's democratic in its thought process. So we're not an elitist community. We're not a community only of the moneyed or super rich or no rich. It's a community which is intellectually driven and it's a progressive community. It's democratic. So whatever content we generate, all of this what you're talking today is going to be put on YouTube for free on our platform. And YouTube, there is no subscription. I could have easily come up with a second fee structure and say, okay, 200 or 2,000 or 20,000 in a year. There is no fee because knowledge is meant to be shared. Knowledge kisi ki jagir nahi hai. The more you share, the more it grows. And in this case, it's global.
And speaking of knowledge, whose session are you most excited for today?
Well, all my speakers are great because they give personal time. They are
No, you have to pick one, Jimmy.
the best. Well, I think today I'm excited about Sumit. I'm a hardcore coffee lover, and for me to know about coffee is something that I'm going to carry with me all my life because I'm a coffee lover, hardcore. 3 years I've spent in Italy, and hence I'm a coffee lover. But I've never known anything about coffee apart from my illy beans that I like, and I'm going to have that.
Right.
So today's session, that's something I'm going to take away.
Right.
So it's these bites of intellectual knowledge, something from fashion, something from coffee, something from strategy, something from leadership,
Design thinking,
and makeup. I mean, it's great because it helps you to stay ahead of the curve. So you are becoming a next entrepreneur, right?
I am, yes.
Okay. The only thing that will make you successful or unsuccessful is your ability to stay ahead of the curve, right?
Well, I was thinking it's coffee, but okay.
So everybody wants to stay ahead of the curve. And Google is filled with noise. We
Yeah.
need something that gives us filtered staying ahead of the curve. Not for startups alone,
Right.
but for established players because things get more difficult. I'll tell you, startups, it's easy.
Right.
Startups knowledge is easy, but when you come to a certain level, then life gets more difficult. And the more you go to the top, leaders are lonely at the top. It's not a cliche statement, it's a fact. Leaders are lonely at the top. And for them to get consistent knowledge to keep them ahead of the curve is what the endeavor of this entire community is.
So guess what happens when leaders get lonely at the top? They end up founding DLC and then have an awesome community that does all this together. Never lonely again.
Never lonely again.
Never lonely again.
Never lonely again.
I do want to take some questions. If you guys have anything that you want to shoot, feel free to raise your hand in the middle and we'll take your question. Since we are in Bangalore, I thought we'll do a little bit of a Bangalore rapid fire. What do you say?
Sure.
Yeah?
Shoot.
Great. Best Bangalore breakfast that you love?
Four Seasons in my room.
Oh, you can't say that. Oh. Horrible. Recommendations from the crowd. I am a person. Really? I'm a personal Vidyarthi Bhavan fan. Thank you. CTR. Okay, CTR is great. MTR. So basically, a lot of them have R's in it.
I have to try. So next time I'm in Bangalore,
Yeah,
every
you have
morning
to.
breakfast is going to be somewhere else.
Yeah.
Let me try.
This morning we had something very new inaugurated in our city. Do you have any idea what it is?
The airport, right?
Very well
It's
said.
lovely.
Yes. Nicest thing to do over the weekend in Bangalore for you is?
The nicest thing to do is to meet the most amazing people and get to know them. For me, the place doesn't matter, the resort, hotel, doesn't matter, the people matter.
How many people are animal lovers here? Show of hands? Okay, great. I think then by that logic, we would recommend the Cubbon Park Dog Park on a Sunday. It's the best.
Really?
If you don't have, I go there. I don't have dogs at home. They don't. I mean,
What do
they're
you go there looking for? Some pretty women around walking the dogs.
No. We just go there and just imagine just go there, have fun with the dogs, and come back. Like it's zero responsibility.
guess.
You have to understand.
Take a guess. How many dogs do I have?
8.
Okay. Any other guesses?
No? How many?
They're close to about 65.
Oh God! Oh, wow!
So Della Adventure has the maximum. Della Data has it. My factory has. And I've got 2 beautiful ones at home in Bombay. And I've got one. I'm a hardcore dog lover.
I would have never guessed.
It's just incredible to have
Oh,
them.
that's the first. Okay, there. Okay, cool. Any questions? Anything comes to anyone's mind? Anyone want to say anything? Firstly, tell us your name.
I'm Rita Mahajan.
Lovely to meet you. And it sounds like you're a true blue old Bangalorean.
Yes, I
Am I right?
I am.
Wonderful. So that's
I belong here and it's my town. And one thing I can tell you, Jimmy, and
Yeah.
others who are outsiders, people who come to Bangalore definitely fall in love. If
Yeah.
not today you may resist it, but definitely I'll see you tomorrow being a resident of Bangalore. But
How
please go
sweet.
to the outskirts.
How sweet. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Lot of people, contacts, friends, all of them are asking, how do you become a member?
Well, it's pretty simple. They need to apply for membership. We have a very thorough membership vetting process. Like I said, we want to create a happening community, and we want to make sure like-minded people come in the community. Couple of things matter to us as a basic ethos. Of course, there are filters of turnover, and if you're a professional, you're a young leader, blah, blah, it's all there on the website. But to my mind, one single most important thing, life of success to life of significance. So the people who are searching for that quest for that significant life is who we are looking for to be a part of our community. Also, second most important thing that people need to understand, significance cannot happen unless and until you have a desire to help other humans. So if you can demonstrate how you help other humans, you may speak English, you may not speak English, you may speak pure Shuddh Kannada, and I'm still very proud to have you as my member. The whole idea is the desire to help other humans. That's the kind of people we want to build in this community. And apart from that, of course, there is an entrepreneurs has different filters, professionals have different filters, young leaders have different filters. So that's there. There is a sales interview, there is a global interview process, and we made this process automated. It's not on my whims and fancies or my employees. The interview goes to 3 people as honorary members globally, of which 2 have to approve your membership. So just as government has faceless taxation policy, we have a faceless membership approval process, and it's working quite well.
We have 2.5 thousand,
2,500 members.
on the
So you will never know who's rated you. So 2 out of the 3 have to agree.
Okay.
And all of them have been told that value based on this.
Right.
Does this person desire to lead a significant life by touching other people's lives positively, or the environment positively, and serve planet Earth? If these are the 2 desires, then by and large we are on the same wavelength.
Got it.
We would love you to be a part of our community. Now the membership fees and all of that secondary, but primary, that's our aim. There are no gold, silver, platinum membership, blah, blah, blah. It's one flat democratic structure. It's one member. You pay its personal, company pays its corporate. It's the same structure across the world, and it's a global membership.
So DellaLeaders.com.
DellaLeaders.com is where you can apply.
Okay.
And you can reach out to us. Numbers are there globally and within India.
Got it. Firstly, I have to say that we spoke about a couple of things. We spoke about the power of forums. We spoke about community. Let's say someone here wants to get more details, all on the website itself, right?
Everything is on the website. Plus, there are numbers that they can call Membership Experiences team, and they'll be handled, and they'll be done a presentation and taken through it.
Great.
But like I said, we are very keen. We do not want anybody to think that they can just apply online, pay money, and become a member. That's
Doesn't
not
work
the
like that.
community. That's not happening.
Right.
And that's never going to happen.
Right.
So this is one straight membership. There are no freebies, and there are no discount structures, and there is nothing. It's one simple, straightforward. We are all about brand trust. And that's what this organization and the community is all about.
Got it. So this is a little exciting for me personally because after doing 7.5 years of radio, music, hosting a lot of different things, I'm jumping into the entrepreneurial space.
Super.
So this is exciting for me as well.
Wishing you all the luck.
Thank you.
And hoping to have you as a part of the DLC global community.
In a way, I already am, if you think about it. You know what I mean? It's not easy to set up something like this and have it networked across the globe so seamlessly. So please, once again, join me in giving a big round of applause to Jimmy, please.
Thank you.